is it really the last time? Because the way it ends, you feel that the story could continue.
No, it's last. It's last. I mean, it's last, Ron.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off!
Hi, I'm CorderyFX from CorderyFX.
And I'm Nick from... I don't know, this feels very weird. I feel like it needs a better intro than that.
Hi, I'm Brendan.
Hello.
And Andrew here, as always.
Yeah, so essentially we're here to discuss the newest movie, Rambo: Last Blood. And we all saw it a week ago, and we've all got some hot, spicy opinions on that film. But what we have done right before this recording is we have rewatched Rambo 4. Mm-hmm. Because we all felt that the new one was so bad that we had to go back to the actual perfect ending and wash that stink off. So we're all fresh off of watching Rambo from 2008. Who wants to describe the plot to the new Rambo?
I reckon Brendan should.
Brendan.
Well, it's basically Rambo becomes Liam Neeson.
You're not wrong.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I think the first thing I said coming out of the cinema was, if Stallone wanted to remake Taken, why didn't he just call it Taken?
But the fact that you will be able to relate, everyone who has a family knows that the worst fear in the world is when that family is taken.
I'll give him this, though. I think he's intimidating in that movie.
He was not intimidating. He was old and feeble.
But he's this fucking size from that pole.
Yeah, but like, this couch is big. I'm not intimidated by it.
You would be if you had a big knife.
Brendan's
Yeah, another good point by Brendan.
a knife wielding couch.
I don't know. It was just like, it didn't need the Rambo name slapped on it. It could have been just a Stallone action whatever film, and it would have been just fine. But no, he had to slap the name on it, and that's what pissed me off.
Yeah, so the biggest problem with going into this film is all of us that have seen Rambo 4 all would agree that was the most perfect conclusion to this series and didn't require anything afterwards. The shot where, after he murders 98% of Thailand, Burma, goes back to his dad's farm, and as we all just saw before, the epic shot where he's just walking down the farm, and the camera's going higher and higher.
Credits,
just Rambo's gone home. He's not a war man anymore. And then the trailer for this new one came out probably a year ago, and it was like nothing resembled Rambo, and we're all just like, Last Blood? We kind of just had Last Blood.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. Plus, they also tricked the audience because they didn't show anything about the plot in the trailer. They just show Rambo killing people. That's the entire trailer. They don't show the new characters that they shoehorn in there, the grandma and the... I don't even know who they are.
Yeah,
they're just random people.
Yeah, so, as we just said, the previous Rambo movie ends with him walking towards his dad's farm. He sees R.Rambo on the letterbox. Like, for some reason, I just feel like an alien when I'm going into this. I was like, all right, so the first half of this movie is going to be Rambo with his dad. And we're going to see more of Rambo's, like, behind the curtain, you could say. But this movie just starts off with the dad's dead, and there are two women that live with him. And they keep saying it's Rambo's niece is the young...
No, I'm pretty sure she just calls him Uncle Rambo as, like, a thing. But they're not related.
So, none of us got an idea of who these women were.
I still don't know.
Wasn't the old Mexican woman...
Was she like a farmhand or something?
I don't know if she was like the girlfriend of the dad or something.
Yeah, like he got a new... The maid? Or...
So remember she said something about being grateful that she was allowed to stay?
Yeah. But the young girl, she is the Mexican lady's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Correct.
The mum's dead. The dad fucked off to Mexico. Like, it didn't feel like a Rambo film at all.
Yeah, that's why it establishes at the start he's dug all these tunnels, which is such a crazy thing for someone to do. But it's just like, what are you preparing for? Rambo is in no danger at all. And the only reason there is conflict in this movie is because his dumb niece or whatever went to Mexico against his advice.
To find a papa.
She drives all the way to Mexico after they have this big argument where he's like, "You know what you go to Mexico is bait." And she's like, "I won't." Goes to Mexico. Finds where this dad that abandoned her lives. Goes up to the apartment. He's like, "Oh, you're grown. I remember when you were little." And she goes, Why did you leave us? And then he like steps 1 foot forward into the sinister blue light, and he's like, I don't love you. Your mother's a bitch. Get out. And then
he's like, yeah, I never wanted you.
it's like some cliche thing.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, that makes me upset. Let's go. And their bitch friend is like, let's go drinking. And then gets kidnapped, put into sex trafficking. And then Rambo has to go find her. You know that movie Taken?
She's raped and has to do heroin and stuff.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to do heroin. She gets force-fed heroin.
She changes her name to Mandy as well.
But then after that, Stallone finds her like lickety-split.
Like, I don't remember Rambo being a detective.
Well, he has the help of fucking the journalist character that fucks off.
Oh, that's right.
And she's been like tracking them this whole time, doing some investigative piece on them or whatever.
Yeah, she's a journalist.
Yeah. And then that just goes fucking nowhere. He goes to the cartel. They basically leave him for dead for some reason, which would never happen in real life. They would kill the fuck out of him. But they leave him for dead. She nurses him back to health. And she's like, how long have I been here? 4 days. Oh, 4 days. Oh, she's probably been getting raped like so much. And then he's like, where would she be? And then all of a sudden, the next scene, they're at some random brothel where she exactly is. And then he just hammers people to death, takes her back, and then she dies.
This is where my idea would be perfect. She's dead when he gets there. It doesn't matter how quick he found her. Then he goes into full fucking Rambo rampage mode and declares war on the entire fucking city.
See, I agree with you. That sounds a lot more entertaining than what I saw.
Specifically because you said the phrase declares war. Yeah. There is no war in this movie.
He fucking destroys
No, it would have been better if he took the war to Mexico. Not inviting them back to his house. It's like the thing is such a mess. It's all over the place.
Yes.
The first half of the movie is like he's got to get the niece back, and then that just fucking dies in the ass.
The Liam niece on? Yeah. He's got to get his niece on?
Fuck. Just stop.
But it's just ridiculous. Like, if you're tackling something like this dense subject matter about like human trafficking and stuff, they just gloss over it. And it's so weird. And there's characters in the movie that just appear and then do nothing and then go away. Like, he sets up at the start of the film. They're like, oh, Uncle John, you're building all these crazy tunnels. He's like, why don't you invite your friends to come check out my tunnels? Like, but you don't let anyone in your tunnel. He's like, I'll let you in my tunnels.
He's like, I can change. It's like, why is he...
Why has he been digging them?
Yeah, no one builds, like, ridiculous amount of tunnels throughout all this acreage just for fun. Like, it's like he's planning for something.
Yeah, but I also don't know how he managed to do that, because it looks like caves. It doesn't look like...
I think that's... It wasn't well explained or well set up. Or
you think that? I know that.
Yeah. But like that's what you do in Vietnam is fucking you dig tunnels. Like, any war you dig ditches and shit.
So
trenches, not fucking underground road system.
You build underground as well.
You could say that he's had 10 years to dig all these tunnels.
Yeah,
but then the other question is, why did he dig these tunnels?
I was going to say, like, that's a good fucking setup for PTSDF. Whatever the fuck it is.
Like, the point of the previous Rambo is that now he's finally done with war.
Yeah.
But is he really?
Yeah.
Shut up, Brandon.
You just sound like that fucking crackpot Stallone.
But he wouldn't be done with it. He wouldn't have peace. Digging tunnels makes sense. But the rest of the movie doesn't really.
Oh, yeah.
See, this movie would have been fine, although unnecessary, if it was like what Creed did, where it was passing the torch to the younger generation. Like, if that niece character, or the granddaughter or whatever, he had trained her up, since he'd essentially raised her from a kid, from what the movie explained.
Yeah, if he'd
trained her, and then he got in the shit, and she had to come save his ass. Like,
yeah,
that
this new political
better.
climate is they could just have the girl be the new Rambo and saves old Rambo.
It's Karate Kid 4.
Yeah.
He should have just killed himself. Like...
Oh, wow.
No, but see, this goes back...
No, I don't mean like in a bad way. I mean like Stallone should have been like, he's old. Should have killed his character off so no one can fuck it. You should have made a good movie and killed.
Or he should just not have made the movie.
Yeah, because that's
what we're here discussing.
A lot of this podcast is just going to be going back to Rambo from 2008. It ended with him going back to his dad's farm. We don't need to see any more of Rambo.
But you just have to kill him because you know some fucking
Oh, you don't have to kill him. He doesn't have to die off. We just have to know,
Brendan, because we just saw him walk home.
We just have to know he's now ended with peace.
We all know Disney will buy that somehow and put the fucking, The Rock will be in it in 10 years.
Rockbo. Fucking hell.
And you're like, he'd be trying to play this fucking veteran who's fucking psychologically fucked, but you can't take it seriously because that's The Rock. Like,
But this is what you're saying, that he should just like have died in this movie. No, he should just not have made this movie. Like, that's what made me so fucking angry walking out of it. Like, if this was just another Stallone, like that what was that Prison Break movie him and Arnie just did?
Escape Plan.
Yeah, just a fucking straight to DVD whatever action film. Where it's just like, all right, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, because it could have been like a fine new character for him. Because one of the things I was thinking is like, if this was 100% original, like not associated with any brand name, this could have been Stallone's John Wick.
Yeah, in a way.
Like his own new action friend. Like it doesn't have to be tied to anything. It's just this character that he lives on a farm.
Albeit a geriatric fucking action movie star character, but it would have
Just
been...
like Liam Neeson in Taken.
Yeah,
he defied all odds by being a fucking grandpa.
I never understood that, why he was made into an action star. But whatever.
But that's the thing with Taken, is that's that one gimmick that you can only do once. Wouldn't they ruin by... They did 2 more Takens, but then they did other movies that look like Taken.
She's been taken again.
Like Tombstones. Walking Tombstones, and then the Cold Dish revenge movie that just came out. Oh, the one...
I don't watch movies, so
the one where he's on the train? Taking the train?
Oh, yeah, what was that?
It's just another
taking
Taken.
the train from Narang to Bean Lee.
That's it. That'd be more violent than Rambo. We just watched.
But I don't know, because I had the same feeling when 2008 Rambo... I always call it John Rambo, because I like that name better. But when that was announced, I was like, fucking hell, don't do it. And then I was pleasantly surprised. Because Rambo 2 and 3, I still really like Rambo 2, but I can admit that it's a schlocky, like, shitty action film. In the vein of, like, Rocky 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Where I just watch it because it's, like, you know, that 80s feel. But that John Rambo, that fucking Rambo movie was so well done. And an unexpected ending to that franchise.
Because as we were discussing before while watching it, the first one is he fights cops in America because he's of PTSD. And the second one is like, oh, let's just put him back in the war zone and then he can be in his element again. The third one, which I've only seen the first half of because I lost interest because it looked too much like an A-Team TV show.
It's really drab and boring.
But the John Rambo 4, that was like this amazing special return that actually like put the character in the real world of today, and it actually had a story to tell.
That was the thing we were just talking about when we were watching it. Like, there was no story to tell in this Last Blood film at all.
Because they had to like shove in new elements of like, oh, there's this Mexican woman with her
It was new characters and everything.
So that's I mentioned before, because he somewhat makes a relationship with Schoolboy, like somewhat.
Not really. He doesn't.
It'd be like a soldier camaraderie.
I don't think that's a strong enough relationship to build a fucking next film on.
I think the only person...
I've read some books about fucking SAS in Australia, and they only meet soldiers once, and they feel a bond, and they go do shit for them. See, like, Schoolboy could have gone back, to the Middle East, Northern Africa. There's heaps of fucking things happening right now.
Yeah, but either way,
Schoolboy dies.
This movie
Rambo goes to investigate why he died.
It did not need to have the Rambo name on it, or it just didn't need to happen at all. Rewatching it now, I feel like this is the sequel to First Blood in my head, because if you don't count Rambo 2 and 3, you go from First Blood where he's obviously been arrested, you don't know what's happened, it's been like however long, like 20 something years, and then he's obviously just fucking dealt with the prison time, whatever he had to do, and then he's just gone back to Vietnam because he's like, fuck America, there's nothing for me here. That's the way I see the Rambo franchise.
Yes, it's sort of like how I see the Rocky franchise. Like, even though 4 has some of the greatest 80s stuff in it, for me, it's Rocky 1 and 2 are like this perfect 2-part story. And then Creed is like this amazing surprise third movie that came out of nowhere that like updates that story in the new era, like in an actual decent way that makes sense.
I haven't even seen any of the Rocky movies.
Creed was such a fucking great movie. Although the biggest gripe is Stallone's character should have fucking died in that movie.
Yeah, that's where it would be fine if he died, because it's like it's not like Rocky would die and then there's no more legacy characters
He's
left.
passed on the knowledge.
Adonis Creed actually has like some relevance to the originals. If Rambo died in Rambo 4, well, first of all, probably be a very unheroic ending. But if he died in this, it kind of just feel like, because the story doesn't carry any importance to make a fifth movie worth it.
Unless you
But
went,
it just
unless you went to,
carries
like,
that Stallone feels he's important. Like there's a
Northern
massive
Africa
ego
to
thing.
rescue Schoolboy and died rescuing Schoolboy. That'd be fucking perfect.
Man, give up on your goddamn Schoolboy connection in Rambo 4.
That makes sense.
The only person he connected to the most was Julie Benz's character.
Schoolboy is fucking heaps more memorable than she is.
See, he just didn't listen to what you said.
You're
Schoolboy.
like, yeah, Brendan's epic retort is just, "That's Schoolboy."
Well, Graham McTavish, his character was epic as well.
He's not epic. He's a fucking dick.
Leg
but-
blown apart, he's headbutting people to death with his leg bleeding
and
to
then
death.
rolling around like.
He's fucking still killing people.
You would have fucking boat me. Yeah, I can't get that.
You
out of my
lady
head.
boy, you can't.
He's the boat man. He stays with the boat. But you always latch on to the fucking shittiest characters. Like, who's that dude in Game of Thrones that you love that's a turd?
Stannis.
No, not Stannis Baratheon. The fucking the boat maniac.
Oh, Euron Greyjoy.
Yeah,
He's fucking amazing.
he's probably sicker in the books, but you don't know the character from the books. You know the character from the television
Yeah,
program.
that's true.
And the television character
like-
sucks.
His character is sort of like, I guess the actor knew the show was shit, so he's just been a shit cunt character.
I fucked the queen.
But anyway, back to Rambo.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that we kept discussing, literally when we came out of the cinema, is the point of Rambo movies is he's trying to get away from it. PTSD is like controlling his life, but he's like Mad Max, where war always finds him.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with this new one, is like it doesn't find him.
Then it was like Rocky 6, where the whole movie was him doing motivational speeches. This felt like that, where Rambo just keeps spouting off this really unnatural dialogue about like, there's revenge in my heart and I gotta get it out, and all this weird shit like that.
Yeah, that's the issue. Is one of the behind the scenes facts of the original that I love is Rambo never shut up in the script, and then obviously they filmed all those scenes where he's talking, and then when it got to the edit, Stallone saw the cut and he's just like, "Man, this doesn't work. Rambo fucking talks too much. This is just ridiculous. He doesn't shut up. We're gonna like pull this movie." And then they're like, "We can't fucking pull the movie. This is ridiculous." So at the last minute, he decided, cut out all my dialogue, and then we'll just make Rambo like a silent character, and he won't talk until he breaks down at the end. And then it's just like, that's why that movie is so praised now, is because of that silent hero. In this one, they forgot that. So now Rambo doesn't shut up.
But
And
that's why Rambo 4 feels so authentically Rambo, is because he's fucking silent again.
yeah,
He doesn't say shit.
like he's on the boat, and that bald dude is just abusing the shit out of him, giving him so much shit. But he's not sitting there with like some angry look of like, "You better shut up, I'm gonna kill him." He's just like,
Or he doesn't have a fucking quote ready to.
no, he's
spit
just
out of
he's
it.
just like, I'll just let him fucking ride it out.
And that's why this feels like the direct sequel to First Blood, more than ever now. Like just rewatching it.
Yeah, Rambo, First Blood to Rambo 4.
Yeah.
Rambo Last Blood. And it's annoying because it's not even the last.
Rambo 4 should have been called Last Blood if any of them had to be.
Because now Stallone's threatening to make more Rambos.
Threatening.
He's just like, well, as long as I'm alive, my characters are alive. And,
Yeah.
all this was born out of... Even though I liked Creed, I'm blaming Creed for this. Where before that, Stallone was like trying to do stuff with the Expendables, and that was fanning out. Teamed up with Schwarzenegger, but those kind of was just like whatever. Creed comes along, which isn't his idea, isn't his pitch, and it makes Rocky relevant again, more so than his own Rocky 6, which literally is just a Stallone biopic of him going, I reckon I can do it again. It was alright. But this is like, alright, so Ryan Coogler's like, I got an idea. What if Rocky now becomes the trainer and the new blood is Apollo Creed's son? It worked in this perfect way, and as you said, he should have died, because it would have been a nice wrap-up.
Yeah.
Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Creed.
The end scene should have been the fucking him being like his gravestone next to Adrian's gravestone.
Yeah, and then Adonis Creed sits down and like talks to both of them.
Like Rocky does when he sits at the chair and talks to Adrian's grave.
Yeah.
And then you even have the son rock up,
Yeah.
and they become whatever. Like that's the end of the fucking franchise.
Yeah,
there.
and see how
I haven't
that,
seen Rocky at all. What the fuck you guys are talking about?
but just that pitch for what Creed was, we can still keep
piss.
discussing how like that was. We can like still play with that idea. Then Stallone goes and makes Creed 2 on his own, and it's just like, oh, I got a good idea. What if Adonis Creed fights Drago's son, and it's like revenge for Rocky 4.
It is the schlockiest fucking idea. And there's like, if it had to be made at all, there's ways that movie could work, but the way they did it was so terrible.
Yeah, and I never even saw it because I just didn't. I don't care about Dolph Lundgren's legacy. I don't care about his character from Rocky IV.
It was a fucking failure on like every level, and it was because Ryan Coogler wasn't involved. He was the whole reason Creed worked at all.
And that goes back to the point: is Creed didn't need a sequel to the Creed.
No.
Creed was a perfect bookend. But I think now because of Creed, now Stallone's got that
Hunger.
He's got that like vanity ego thing he had in the 90s where he had Rocky and Rambo, those were hits, and then you could tell he wanted more like characters.
Franchises, yeah.
Franchise characters. So you have Cobra, you have Judge Dredd. Is he Demolition Man or was Wesley Snipes Demolition Man?
he was.
Who was Demolition Man? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
Stallone.
He was Demolition Man?
Yes.
Yeah, Demolition Man. It's like he just wanted all these like one-off characters that would hopefully spawn franchise. They all went nowhere, so I think he stopped for a while.
And Demolition Man's a bit of a cult film now. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, but you love Euron Greyjoy.
He's a good bloke though.
But anyway, now that Creed kind of revitalized Stallone's integrity, I guess, then he's now ruining it again by pumping out Creed 2. And then how long after Creed 2 did this come out? Rambo Last Blood.
Creed 2 was 2018.
It was last year.
Last year.
Yes.
And now that threat he made of like, well, as long as I'm alive, my character's alive. It's like, no! Stop bringing them out of retirement. Yeah, Creed was perfect and Rambo 4 was perfect. And Rambo Last Blood is like a 2005 direct-to-DVD quality plot.
Well, and film. Like
yeah.
It looks like it has a way bigger budget than Rambo 4, but it fucking looks cheaper somehow.
Because it just looks like every action film, like not even as impressive as John Wick, which is probably a lower budget.
I don't know if it's a lower budget, but my god, did they put, like, you can tell the filmmakers care in John Wick.
You can tell they had like an idea.
Yeah.
But the thing with John Wick is they knew to bring it back to the basics as much as possible, the simple character that does amazing stuff. You can't apply that to Rambo because his character is way too complex.
Well, that's why Rambo 2 and 3 are so schlocky. Because they basically turn him into like a fucking superhero.
Rambo 2 has like one of my favourite lines though.
Which one?
Fucking, if you want to win a war, you got to become war.
No survivor war, you're gonna become a war, which they put in Gremlins too.
Oh really? Oh yeah, they do.
War they won't believe.
That's where Gizmo puts on the headband and starts shooting. Yeah, because that's what John Wick is. It's a whole bunch of like collaborative ideas from people who are the best in their fields. Where Rambo Last Blood is Stallone just wanted to do it again. If Taken didn't exist, this would still be a nothing movie. Because they're trying to touch on sex trafficking and the cartel, but it's like in the past probably 10 years, all of those things have been probably delved into much better in different like lower budget of films.
I know why you copy Taken. Taken's fucking shit.
That's my point.
Yeah, but that's
Taken
because-
is not a good Rambo plot to ape off of.
Liam Neeson is not a fucking action star.
Because there's even a comparison between Taken and this where I think the second you realize Liam Neeson's character is like going to be violent with his interrogations when he's like pulls out those electrodes. And he says the guy's like, now listen to me very carefully. I'm going to ask questions and you'll get answers or something. And he shoves him in the guy's leg and then like turns up the voltage to like shock him if he doesn't answer his questions. There's a part in Rambo Last Blood and I can't even remember what it was.
He pulls his rib out.
Yeah, he just asks that guy his question and just instantly shoves his knife into his leg. And he's like, I'm going to ask you some questions and you're going to answer them. And he's like, I'm in so much fucking pain. And he like pulls out his collarbone.
He should have like got his knife and put his eyes out and put gasoline.
Yeah, but see,
in
that's
his eye sockets.
no, that's my point. Is I've just made a comparison of the exact same scene from Taken, but all you can do is be like, oh, how much more violent could it be?
Actually, that's for a movie. I just stole that.
Well, that was the biggest fail. Rambo, the character, his best weapon was always his brain. In First Blood, he is in the middle of nowhere, out of his element, and he has to survive with only his knife. And he doesn't kill anybody.
One person.
By accident. In the book, he kills like everyone. But that's what I mean. Like his best weapon was always his brain.
Yeah.
And they did not apply that to this. Like it didn't feel like a Rambo film at all.
Yeah.
So I know he was working originally with the writer of First Blood, like the actual novel.
David Morrell.
Yeah. So I know he was originally involved in this.
Well, he's come out and said it's a piece of shit.
Well, because his name's still attached as like
Yeah.
story by. Or
No,
like,
it's a character created by.
But
He said, I'm embarrassed to have my name associated with this,
yeah.
which is so telling.
So the end of the movie should have been after his war in Mexico. The US has to send special forces in there to get him because he's fucking unstoppable. Like,
They have to send Schoolboy in there.
yeah, like, and then it should end like the book. Like,
Yeah, Rambo
someone
becomes a
has
problem
to-
because
has to
he
kill
just
him.
it doesn't matter how old he is, he can't switch it off. Now he's an actual problem in this day and age.
I should point out this is after he's killed the cartel and 1,000 innocent civilians.
He just gets that big turret gun at the end of Rambo 4 and just mounts it to a pickup truck. and
Just
just
gone
drives.
fucking mental. They'd have 50 cals everywhere in Mexico. You could find one of those easily. Like,
On every street corner. Well, the character in the book is way more just... He kills a lot of civilians in the book. And they've purposely made him not kill a single person on purpose in the movie. Because they figured, like, oh, nobody's going to fucking like him.
Yeah, well, it puts a bit of humanity back into him. I guess
I'd like
and
him.
sort
I
of
fucking
humanises
like
his
Euron
character.
Greyjoy, so.
Yeah. What?
I mean, just that scene where he breaks down. Because back then, nobody really believed that PTSD... Well, they didn't even know what PTSD was, really.
Yeah.
They just thought it was people being sooks, I guess. Just having a cry after the war. And they didn't realize how much war would fuck people up.
Or if they'd just be like, "Oh, you're just a born and bred psycho." Like,
Yeah.
no, you don't know what I've been through to be at this point.
Yeah, I had my best friend's head explode all over me. Like,
That's what I mean. Like, Stallone is the most hit and miss actor I can think of. Like, he'll either have a brilliant idea or a very fucking terrible one.
Yeah, because that's just one of the reasons I'm so salty about this new one is because he nailed it with the previous one.
Yeah.
Unintentionally, too. Like, it just came out of nowhere. Nobody wanted it.
And everything about it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as I mentioned this while we just watched the previous one, the whole opening is like, it sets up the enemy he's about to fight. And then like shows the Burmese army, they're making people cross the water with mines in it. And if they don't cross the water, they're going to shoot them anyway. But as they cross, they blow up. Sets up how fucked this new threat is. And then goes, Rambo. In this one, it starts off with this like rainstorm on a mountain, and then all of a sudden he's just riding around on horseback. He gets no like real introduction. He's just there riding a horsey, and then there's CGI water slides coming down a mountain. He sees someone's already drowned, and he's like, "Get on my horsey, we're gonna get out of here!" And he like saves
A girl.
a girl, and some guy runs off or something. Yeah, because that first 10 minutes of Rambo Last Blood, I was like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
This isn't Rambo. He's like Walker Texas Ranger now. He just like saves people in Texas.
That's actually a really good description.
But as we've all keep saying, should have just been an original movie. Could have been fine.
Yeah.
And you don't actually have to anchor yourself back to this previous franchise. If Stallone just wants to be in another movie where he's just this muscle, leathery old man, just super violent, he
Just
can
do it.
call it Cobra 2.
yeah. When we talk about this, I should point this out with Rambo 4, with that British SAS guy. In real life, fuck Rambo shit up. Like, Rambo would not stand a chance against that fucking guy. Like,
Yeah, there's a movie called Rambo, not Random SAS guy. The new Rambo, it has this like horrible clip show at the end, where the second the movie ends,
John
Rambo.
show you little snippets.
Yeah, Rambo.
from, like-
Rambo gets shot in the stomach a bunch of times, and he sits in the wheelchair. Oh, sorry, rocking chair. And you think like, oh, he's about to die. Oh, okay, good. But then they start the clip show of like footage from Rambo 1, footage from Rambo 2, and it's like the music's coming in again, and it's just like, don't show us all the
But
other fucking movies.
Then they show you Rambo 3 and then 4, and then they even show you stuff from the film.
Yeah,
we
then
just
they
watched.
recap the film we just watched. And then it cuts to Rambo on a horsey riding into the distance. And it's like, no! He's not meant to live! He's too fucking old! Fucking want Rambo 6, where he talks more about his feelings. I feel much better. Before I went into this, I was like, this looks like Stallone's trying to make his own John Wick. And halfway through watching it, I was like, no, this is his Taken. But what the whole thing should have been, in retrospect, is this should have been Stallone's Gran Torino.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Rambo, social justice warrior.
There we
Puts
go.
on a rainbow headband.
Oh yeah, that, and he's like holding a picket sign that says, like, love, and he's like stabbing people with it.
Make love, not war.
There it is. Rambo, social justice warrior.
This guy, some racist is like, black people should be slaves again, and then Rambo's just like, hey man, that's racist, and like rips his throat out.
So he can't spew hate anymore.
I think we're just going to start pitching our dumb ideas for what a Rambo sequel should be. Rambo versus Commando, that's all I'm going to say. John Rambo versus John Matrix, and they can fucking dig up Bennett, who's now got a robot stomach after the pipe went through into him. John? I don't know which John's John.
They should have done that in their heyday.
Put the
Stallone,
knife down,
Schwarzenegger.
John. Both Johns. My pitch isn't for Rambo, another Rambo. My pitch for the new Expendables movie is they should have, like, something happens in Jurassic Park, so
Yeah.
then they have to send the Expendables into Jurassic Park to, like, get someone out of there. And it's just like each Expendable fights a different type of dinosaur.
You know, Jet Li Kung Fu's a fucking... Kung Fu's a velociraptor.
Just Stone Cold Steve Austin fights one of those, like, headbutting ones.
Yeah, I can't remember what they called.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Pachycephalosaurus.
Yeah, that's it.
Whee!
But,
I just want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger and a T-Rex having a scream off. Fuck you, buddy. And then Arnie punches it in the face, and then it's all like sad, just like the reindeer in Jingle All the Way. he punches the reindeer in the face, and ends
They
its
have a
respect.
beer together.
He puts beer in his bowl. Anyone else
What
got?
about, fucking, I don't know, Rambo vs. Angelina Jolie? That's a fucking good movie.
Did you say Rambo versus Angelina Jolie?
They
Yeah,
did
it's the only
that
thing I
Asian,
could think of.
the Mr. and Mrs. Smith movie.
So it's Rambo and Mrs. Smith. Where's Brad?
Rambo vs.
he's in space.
Rambo vs. Tomb Raider. She was Tomb Raider, wasn't she? Two guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they'd done it in the heyday, like Rambo vs. Commando,
Yeah,
That would've
but that
been-
had to be made directly after Commando.
It
Man,
literally-
that's the biggest thing we'll never see is like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone in their primes,
Yeah.
making an action movie together.
we've seen them now, but it's like
It's like Rambo 6 or 5
Yeah.
or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck the new one is. It's just
they're too old.
I always found like Expendables movie in general was just like, hey, remember all these action heroes?
That is literally it.
Yeah.
yeah, that was the novelty. It's like, oh, they're all in one film. Wow.
Yeah.
So I saw the third one, and there is a joke because Wesley Snipes is in the third one.
Oh, really? The Darkness.
Yeah, and they. And I'm pretty sure the movie opens with them breaking him out of a prison train. And then there's a joke about why he was in prison. And he mentioned something about taxes and shit.
That's not
Oh,
awesome.
Like,
That's not cool. Do you want to wrap this up? I think we said everything.
yeah.
What about... fuck. I just did that deliberately.
Okay, all
So
right.
you had nothing.
All right, my closing thoughts on Rambo Last Blood is all the critics are right about this film that trash it.
Yep.
But when people are saying, like, oh, it's racist against Mexico, all this shit, fuck all that shit. This movie is just it's not called for, and it ruins Rambo's character. The perfect one,
Yeah.
perfect is the previous one. That's my biggest problem, is it just ruins Rambo's character. I don't care about the politics of it. I don't care about any of that shit. The whole movie is just, in my opinion, just a direct-to-DVD movie from 2005.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just a big what if.
It ruins a legacy.
Yeah, Stallone
Yeah.
ruining his own legacy.
And
Yeah.
Cunt didn't wear a headband once.
Yeah, he had a shit haircut. It's just like Rocky IV when he didn't throw in the towel and save fucking Apollo Creed. He
nice.
needs to throw in the towel with his own characters.
You know what would have been perfect in that movie if the Trump had built the wall, and when like Rambo drove over that barbed wire fence, he just drove through the wall. That'd be fucking awesome.
Nick, closing thoughts?
He drives through a bunch of people wearing MAGA hats. Man, my closing thoughts are just the thoughts I've been spewing the whole thing. Just, he fucked it. Unnecessary, total vanity project. After watching Rambo 4 again, Jesus Christ, how could you try and do anything after that?
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about it, honestly. See, I love Stallone. I just wish he would leave old franchises alone. Like, just do something else.
Yeah, because his movie Rocky Balboa is essentially just what this movie is what Creed 2 is. It's him going, I think I can do it again.
It should make the next Rambo movie should be about how China takes over the world and he has to save everybody.
All right, thanks for listening to our fucking podcast about Rambo Last Blood. Don't see it. Watch Rambo 4 again forever.
And watch First Blood as many times as you can, because it is excellent.
Watch Avatar.
Fuck.
Hey,
Can I
you're not
press
going to take
stop
our back, man.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Goodbye.